Alright guys, welcome to the Chapter 6 Calculator tutorial. Today we are going to talk about creating a scatter plot as well as finding the correlation coefficient of a set of data. So let's start off with creating a scatter plot here. So we have a list of data. This is the tuition cost versus years starting in 1990 at Arizona State. So the year 0 represents the year 1990, and then it goes up by 1 year after that. So take your calculator. We're going to go into Stat and Edit, so back into our lists. If you already have things in your list, you can go ahead and tab up and press Clear, Enter, and go ahead and clear all of your lists. Alright, now we're going to enter the data from our year into list 1 and the data from our tuition cost into list 2. So list 1, 0, 1, 2. I'm going to go ahead and skip forward to having all of that data entered into those lists. Okay, so I've entered my data into list 1 and list 2. So list 1 has the years, and list 2 has the tuition cost for that given year. So you should have a total of 10 data points in each list. Alright, so now we are going to go into our stat plot. So second stat plot. You're going to go into plot number 1. You're going to make sure plot number 1 is turned on. And then for type of graph, you're going to select the first option, which is a scatter plot. And then your X list is already in list 1, your Y list is already in list 2. If for some reason you would want to change that, you could press second list, and you could choose from the lists there. So our X list is already in list 1 and list 2, so we're good there. And now we're going to go ahead and press graph. So when you press graph, likely you won't be able to see anything at first. So again, we can go in and manually change our window so that the X values go between 0 and 9, and so that the Y values go between 6,000 and 10,000. Or again, to do this quicker, you can press zoom, and then you can go down to zoom stat and press enter. And it looks like I still have one of my other plots turned on, so I'm going to go ahead and turn off that other plot and go back to zoom stat. And there's my graph there for tuition cost given a certain year. And so there's our scatter plot. And you can tell that it's in a fairly linear pattern here. And so we can calculate the correlation coefficient for this set of data. So coming up next, calculating the correlation coefficient. First thing you need to do is there's a one-time setting change that you need to change. So if you press second and then catalog down at the bottom, the catalog of every single function that's in your calculator will come up. You need to scroll all the way down into the D's, and you're looking for diagnostic on. I'm going to scroll all the way down to diagnostics on. I'm going to press enter and then enter again, and it says done. So now diagnostics are turned on, and that should stay like that unless for some reason your calculator resets to the factory settings. Now that we've turned that setting on, again, that's just a one-time change, we can go ahead and calculate the correlation coefficient. So we have our data still entered into list 1 and 2. We're going to go ahead and press Stat. We're going to tab over to Calc. And then we're going to go down to choose option 4, which is a linear regression. We're going to press enter, and then depending on what your calculator looks like, a menu might pop up or just the linear regression might pop up. If you have this operating system, you're simply going to type in second list and choose list 1, comma, list 2. If you have the new operating system, you're going to set your X list to list 1, your Y list to list 2, and then you're not going to adjust anything else. So then you can press calculate or enter here, and this linear regression comes up. For now, all that we are concerned about is this last R value. So for now, for chapter 6, take a look at this last R value, and that is the correlation coefficient. So again, a correlation coefficient really close to 1 indicates a very strong positive linear correlation for this data. And again, you can see this on the graph as well, almost a nearly perfect straight line. Okay, so that is how to create a scatter plot and how to calculate the correlation coefficient.